More than 2,500 years ago, two powerful worlds stood on the edge of war. On one side was the mighty Persian Empire, the largest empire the world had ever seen. Its kings ruled lands stretching from Egypt to India. On the other side were the small but fiercely independent city-states of ancient Greece. They were divided, competitive, and often at war with each other. Yet soon they would face a common enemy. This conflict would become one of the most famous wars in ancient history, the Greco-Persian Wars. And it would produce legendary battles, heroic sacrifices, and stories that shaped Western civilization forever. To understand the war, we must first look at the rise of Persia. The empire began under the powerful King Cyrus the Great. He conquered vast territories and created a powerful and organized empire. Later, another ruler expanded Persia even further, King Darius I. Darius ruled over millions of people across 3 continents. But ruling such a huge empire was difficult. Many regions resisted Persian control. One of those regions was the Greek cities along the coast of Asia Minor. These cities revolted against Persian rule. The rebellion became known as the Ionian Revolt, and the mainland Greeks especially, Athens helped them. For Darius, this was an insult. He swore revenge against the Greeks, and so began the road to war. In 490 BC, King Darius sent a massive army across the sea to punish Athens. The Persian army landed at a place called Marathon. The Persians expected an easy victory. Their army was larger and more experienced, but the Athenians had something stronger: determination. About 10,000 Greek soldiers faced a much larger Persian force. Greek soldiers were called hoplites, heavily armored warriors fighting in tight formations. When the battle began, the Greeks charged the Persian lines. The fighting was fierce, but the Greeks pushed the Persians back toward their ships. In the end, the Persians were defeated. It was an unbelievable victory for the Greeks. Legend says a messenger ran from Marathon to Athens to announce the victory. After delivering the news, he collapsed and died. This legend inspired the modern marathon race, but the war was far from over. 10 years later, Persia returned, this time under a new king, the son of Darius, Xerxes I. Xerxes prepared one of the largest armies in ancient history. Some historians say hundreds of thousands of soldiers marched toward Greece. His goal was simple: conquer Greece completely. Many Greek city-states were terrified. Some surrendered immediately, but others chose to fight. 2 powerful rivals, Athens and Sparta, formed an alliance. The Persian army advanced into Greece. The Greeks decided to block them at a narrow mountain pass. This place was called Thermopylae. Leading the defense was the Spartan king, Leonidas I. Leonidas brought only 300 Spartan warriors, supported by several thousand Greek allies. For 2 days they held back the enormous Persian army. The narrow pass prevented the Persians from using their full strength. Wave after wave of Persian soldiers attacked, but the Spartans refused to retreat. Finally, a Greek trader showed the Persians a secret path behind the Greek lines. Realizing they would be surrounded, Leonidas sent most Greek soldiers away. But the Spartans stayed. They fought to the death. Their sacrifice became one of the most famous acts of courage in history. After Thermopylae, the Persians marched into Athens. The city was burned. It seemed Persia would win the war, but the Greeks had one last chance. The Athenian leader Themistocles had a plan. He lured the Persian fleet into a narrow strait near an island called Salamis. The large Persian ships struggled to maneuver in the narrow waters, but the smaller Greek ships moved quickly. They rammed and destroyed many Persian vessels. The Persian fleet suffered a devastating defeat. Without naval support, Xerxes was forced to retreat. The following year, Greek forces launched a final attack. At the Battle of Plataea, Greek armies defeated the remaining Persian troops. At the same time, the Greek navy won another victory at Battle of Mycale. These victories ended the Persian invasions. The small Greek city-states had defeated the most powerful empire in the world. The Greco-Persian Wars changed history. The victory protected the independence of Greek civilization. Because Greece survived, its ideas flourished. Democracy, philosophy, science, and art would shape the future of Western civilization. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle would later influence the entire world. And the stories of Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis would become legends of courage and determination. They remind us that sometimes even the smallest forces can change the course of history.